So I'm back. It's been about a month since I've updated my YouTube channel, and closer to 2 months since I've updated my blog. That's on me. It's been a crazy time, and so we're gonna get everything up to date at the same time. So, um, one thing I've noticed a lot in these videos is I mess with my hair a lot like that, but that was just to keep it off this mic. Um, so I'm going to try not to do that anymore. It's going to be fun. Talking with my hands, I can't help. I do it all the time. Okay, so everyone knows coronavirus has been going around, right? Okay. A lot of people have been under quarantine. I know a lot of people in the world race that are going to be going on this trip with me have been under quarantine. Even the AIM administration has been in it. So I have not been placed under stay at home orders, but that is because I work at Walmart. So I am at work almost every single day. Um, and now, what that means is when I get home, I have to be extremely careful about what I do with my clothing. I have to take a shower immediately, and it's because I have my sister who has cerebral palsy, and we have to be careful with her because she doesn't have a good immune system. My dad's diabetic, and he just had hip surgery at the beginning of this year, so we don't want to do anything to complicate that. And now we have my grandpa here, and he is an older gentleman, and he's just not in good health, so we don't want anything getting near him either. So that's been an interesting thing to deal with, but it's been working out. So as far as the trip goes, here's where we get into that. Okay, so I have talked with my advisor lately, and shout out to Lindsay for being so awesome and taking any questions I have any time of the day. It's great. I know she doesn't have all the answers because this is a first for everyone. Nobody's gone through this before. But she has been super awesome in keeping everybody up to date on what's going on and where our trip stands. So, as of right now, we're still going on our trip. We have been moved to an October launch date, though, which just means, for me, I'm looking at this as a positive. I own and operate a dance studio with my sister. So, what I've told her and what I've told my family is this is a blessing in disguise. It's going to give me more time in the studio with the girls, which I love my girls so much. I love them to death, and I'm going to hate being away so much. But I know it's for good, and I know I can just like send my sister videos and make her send me videos from the studio all the time. So that's great. Gives me more time with my students, gives me more time with my family, which I haven't been able to see anyone in my family really except those here in the house because of everything going on. Even though we all live really close, we don't see each other very often. So that's going to be good. And so now we don't have training in June, which was the original plan. First couple weeks of June, we were going to be in Georgia for training. Now we're going to wait and go in October, beginning of October, do training and go straight into the field. Which I think I like better because I'm really not great at I overthink things a lot. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. I overthink things a lot. So if I had 2 months, which was the original plan, almost 2 months between training and launch, I would just be overthinking everything the entire time. And I had told myself, I'm like, okay, cool, that's something you can work on, something you can deal with, something I've been working on lately. But now I go in, get training, see all these amazing people, meet everyone I'm going to be spending a year with, and we go. And that's going to be awesome. I'm going to get to meet a lot more people because we're going to be training with our October launch team, which is great. So that's where we stand with that. not 100% right now on which countries we're going to. As of now, the plan is to go to the same countries. That might change. I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody's gone through this before, so nobody knows what's going on. We're just taking it one step at a time. I don't really care what countries we go to. I've been called to serve and to go and help people, so I'm going to trust that whatever countries I go to need the word spread in them. I'm going to trust that it's where God wants me to be. So I don't care if my countries change. Maybe there's somewhere else that needs more of the gospel preached than the countries we were originally going to. Maybe there's someone there that needs to hear it that wouldn't have heard it otherwise. So that's where my mindset's at right now. Also, I've been reading this book my dad gave me called Something Needs to Change. And it's an amazing book if you haven't read it. It is about a preacher's journey through the Appalachian Mountains on a missions trip and what he learned during that time. They were talking to a lot of unreached people groups, and he just saw the Lord move in wonderful ways through him and through the people, and it's amazing. And it got me so excited for this trip and to see what the Lord can do through us, through me, reaching other people. So that is where my trip is at the moment. And that's where my mindset is at the moment. I'm taking it one day at a time. This has been really, honestly, even though everything's going on, it's been a blessing in disguise because, I work with the general public. Everyone is scared. Everyone's scared. Everyone wants answers. Everyone wants things to be done a certain way. They don't like it when things change, and they want to take it out on the workers when that happens. Working in that, it's been great for me because I've been able to spread love because I don't get angry back when people yell at me, and that makes them kind of question what's going on. So I've got a lot of questions about it. Honestly, people have asked me, well, how are you so calm right now? Like, that person just left and they were screaming at you because of something that happened that was out of your control. And I'm just telling them it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm told to love them, and I do. I love them. So I'm going to treat them with kindness, even if they're bringing hate my way. That's just how I choose to live my life and what my God tells me to do. And so that's been really good, and it's fostered a connection with some of my coworkers in bringing more of the Lord to them when they grew up in a church, but it wasn't a church that taught about a loving God who wanted to see you succeed, who wanted to help you, who was there for you. They grew up in a church where it was God-fearing, if you mess up, you're going to hell type church. And so them seeing someone who has an actual connection with God and has a relationship there, it's been great because I've been able to invite them to do online church with me, invite them to just call me with any questions they have, which they have, and it's been wonderful. I've been able to send a Bible to one of my coworkers actually, and their kids, because they didn't have any, and their kids were asking about Jesus because they used to take him to church and they don't anymore. And he's like, okay, well, I'll start back once this is all over. And so I sent him some links to churches around him that I thought he would enjoy, and their online services right now. And so he's been doing that, and it's wonderful. So that's just where I'm at, what I've been doing lately. Right now, my sister and I are working on trying to figure out what we're doing with the studio because during all this mess, we've had to shut it down, and we're trying to figure out when we can open, which that should be announced on the 30th of this month, I believe. is when we are told when we can open. And then we will figure out what is going on with our system. But until then, and before then, I just want to encourage you all to pray for everybody. I'm praying for every single person who has donated, who has offered prayers, who has offered any sort of support for this. I'm praying for all of you. I hope the Lord's doing good things through you during this time, and that you are growing a closer relationship to Him during this time, since we have all this time at home. All right. I love you guys, and I will see you later.